just like many other athletes, I have found myself having trouble finding something to do once I've gotten done playing my sport that I've played for so many years. Prior to coming to Shippensburg, I played college lacrosse for 3 years. Now, when I got done, I really didn't know what to do with myself. I played lacrosse for so long, that's all I found myself wanting to do, and I knew since my competitive time was done and I really didn't want to go play in a league or anything, just had to find something new. So to my surprise, in the last year, I've actually found the sport of disc golf. Now, disc golf is very similar to many other sports, just like golf and ultimate frisbee. Actually, in fact, it's pretty much derived from those two sports itself, where ultimate frisbee has discs that you throw, just like disc golf, and there are a ton of similarities between disc golf and golf itself. The game is basically played the same, except in a little bit of a different way. But essentially what I wanted to do here today is come to give you a brief overview of the rules and generally just how disc golf is played. Now, just like I've stated, disc golf is super similar to golf. Now, just like you have different clubs in golf, you have different discs in golf. You basically have 3 types of discs. You have drivers, mid-ranges, and putters. Now, the basic distinction between the 3, aside from their shape and how they fly in the air to get less intricate, is mainly their weight. Now, distance drivers are going to be higher weight in order to throw farther distances, while your putter is going to be lighter. Just like a putting club and a driving club, you're really going to have a distinct weight difference, and it's, again, very similar. Now, with that being said, similar to golf again, instead of having a hole to throw the disc in, you actually have a thing called a basket or a cage. If you actually watch or walk on Shippensburg campus and look around, behind Riser you can actually see a couple of baskets, and those are disc golf baskets. So essentially you just want to throw the disc into the disc golf basket, and you want to do that in the least amount of throws, just like you want to make the least amount of hits in golf, and it's, again, very, very similar. Now, starting the game can be really easy. So essentially, once you get to a disc golf course, you will start at the first hole. Now, the first hole will have a thing called a designated tee pad. This tee pad is where you start playing the game. Now, from this tee pad, you must throw from behind where the tee pad ends. So to give you a brief visual, if this note card here was the tee pad, you'd want to throw before you get to the end of it. Just like in basketball, you can't shoot from after the foul line, you have to shoot from before the foul line. So that's pretty much how you start. Now, after you make your first initial throw, you play from wherever the disc lands. Just like when you drive in golf, you play from where the ball lies, is essentially the same thing here at disc golf. You play from where the disc lands. Now, there are some implications to this, but essentially, you cannot step in front of the disc when you throw it. You must be behind it at all times. So if my disc was right in front of me, I would have to play from before the disc ends. Typically though, most people play from behind it where the disc ends. Now, every throw counts as a stroke, just like every hit of a ball in golf counts as a stroke, and basically you add up your score for every hole, total the round, and that's how you get your score. Just like golf, lowest score wins, and there isn't, again, too many crazy things outside of that make disc golf any different than golf itself. Now, there are a couple implications to the rules in disc golf. For one, if you're within a certain distance of the basket, you must stand still, and you must release your disc very lightly and still. Before that though, if you're farther out, I think the rule is 10 meters, you can actually do a run-up. And so the run-up will allow you to step behind where the disc lies, and you can actually get a head start and throw the disc. But again, nothing too different here. Another implication would be this thing called a mando or a mandatory. Basically what this does is restricts the layout of the hole itself. So if you throw outside of the bounds, essentially you get a penalty which adds a stroke to your score. Just like in golf, if someone hits a ball into a lake, it adds a stroke to their score and then damages their score. It's a penalty. So essentially, from going there, playing the game can be really easy, but not every hole or course is the same. So essentially, in order to go about the game, is that when you get to your hole, you want to evaluate it. Now, there's always going to be this designated marker showing you the layout of the hole. What you want to do is look at the mandatories or the out of bounds to see where you have to throw within. After that, you want to start at the tee pad again, and you want to make your first initial throw. And as long as it's within the bounds, if there is a mandatory or out of bounds, then you will play from where the disc lies. If it goes out of bounds, then all you do is bring the disc back in bounds, and you will play from there. You will count up every stroke that you have for that hole, then you will do that for all 18 holes, and essentially just repeat the process until you finish the round. Bada bing, bada boom. You now have your total score. You can connect and see who has the lowest score, and if you're playing with a group of friends, the lowest score wins. Nothing too arbitrary there. Again, very similar to golf. You can even think of it as mini golf, honestly. Just like in mini golf where you have a group of people, you can add up your scores, see who has the lowest one at the end, and find that. That is essentially disc golf in a nutshell. There isn't anything too crazy about it. And yeah, it's really nice because anybody from any demographic, any age group can get really into it, especially if you're an athlete. It's very similar to golf, ultimate frisbee. Most of us are pretty familiar with that. And so you essentially just want to hop right in and play. It's pretty easy. And yeah, I hope you all can really just find the time to go try it and see if you like it for yourselves. Thank you.